Hey guys, welcome to the Fantasy Endgame. Here to talk about fantasy baseball waiver wire pickups for pitchers. That's right, we're finally into the regular season. Hopefully you made some smart decisions on draft day. We're trying to help you all draft season long with some players to target and avoid, and now it's time to ditch those guys who are just not performing. I mean, come on, 1 week's enough, right? We know what we're getting. All right, well, you know what? Maybe there's somebody who's on your IL. Maybe there's somebody who you just don't have a very long leash for. Whatever the case is, you need a pitcher to pick up. Let me tell you who I'm looking at so far. Let's start in Miami, and Jesus Luzardo had quite the debut in 2022. He did end the season with Miami and didn't really have many different results than from his disappointing start to the year in Oakland. But the good thing is, number one, he's healthy. Number two, he's had the offseason to kind of refine his stuff. And man, it looks pretty good. We know that this is a guy who's been a top prospect for years. Just hadn't been able to put it together or stay healthy. Well, so far, so good. Now, we don't want to take away too much from one start, but man, based on what we know this guy's ceiling is, look, 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. It only took him 76 pitches to get there, and he hit 99 on the radar. This is somebody who has the heat. He has the stuff to get batters out. We already know he's got swing and miss stuff. If he's going to throw strikes and not walk batters, not get himself into trouble, I mean, the sky's the limit. He's in a great pitcher's park, good situation there. Remember, this is a Miami guy. He's somebody who's back home. He's got a chance to work with really one of the best teams at developing young pitchers. So this is definitely worth a pickup. I mean, again, don't want to get too carried away from one game, but we know that this could definitely be something. If he's still available, he's out there in maybe half of leagues right now. If for some reason he's still available, you go pick him up right this moment. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, let's talk about a veteran, a guy who is not going to blow away hitters with blazing heat, but he is also not going to get himself into trouble. That's Jameson, Taillon in New York. So being with the Yankees, you know, some starting pitchers thrive there and some don't. So far, he's done pretty well. Of course, getting out of Pittsburgh is a blessing in and of itself, but you know, this is somebody with a career 6.3% walk rate. He's not going to put batters on. Well, the downside is he also doesn't blow away too many guys, career 22% strikeout rate, so he's not going to necessarily rack up Ks, but what he can do is keep those ratios low, should earn several wins, of course, for the Yankees, and somebody who you can kind of count on from week to week. So Taillon, not the most exciting pickup, but at this point, maybe you just want some consistency in the back end of your rotation, so I think he's a guy that you can definitely target. Back to the exciting young pitchers. Well, Kyle Wright, not really a prospect anymore, but this is somebody who is going to maybe finally put it all together. So far, one start, looks pretty good. Okay, he blanked the Reds over 6 innings, and this is an impressive outing because he didn't walk anybody. We know he's also got good stuff, but he just hasn't been able to find the plate consistently. But let's remember, this is a player, former top 5 pick, and he has the stuff. He just, again, needed some time and experience. He only has 70 innings of major league experience under his belt. Even though it seems like it's been a while since he's been coming along, he really is just coming into his own now. Looked really good at the end of last season, postseason, a couple of nice appearances. So maybe it's time he puts it all together. Again, maybe don't throw him right into your lineup right away. Let's see what he does these next couple of starts, but we know the potential is there. I've been on Wright probably way too soon. You know, it was a couple years ago. Thought he was going to put it together, and I've been waiting and waiting. So I'm still a believer. I'm going to grab him and stash him if I have the space. All right, time for some closer talk. You know that you always need saves because they're so hard to find. Let's start in Colorado, where nobody really wants to grab the guy who's going to be in that bullpen. But you know what? Saves are saves. You can't be picky. And so we thought Alex Colomé would be the guy in Colorado. Right now, it looks like it's still Daniel Bard. He's picked up 2 saves so far. Remember, he saved 20 games for them last year. This is a veteran. Again, not too exciting. Not one of these up-and-coming young relievers who's throwing 100. But you know what? I kind of like that about Bard. He's a veteran. He's 36 years old. He's been there. He's done that. You know, he's a guy who struggled through injuries his whole career. He's finally kind of established himself. He's been there. And so if he's going to be the guy, he definitely has the potential to get you upward of 20 saves if he holds on to the job. And let's face it, there's really nobody else threatening him at this point. He's looked good in the early going. So you know what? You need saves, and Bard is out there, which he is still in a lot of leagues for some reason. Go add Bard, and you'll probably be happy. And then on the speculative side of things, we always love to speculate on the closer role, don't we? So in Minnesota, right before the season, Taylor Rogers was traded away. And then I've always been a fan of Jorge Alcala. And so, of course, he hits the IL, and it's right elbow inflammation, which is not a good thing. So that's definitely a red flag. Could be a longer than 10-day stint. Who's up next? It could be Jhoan Duran, a guy who's just 24 years old. So far, not picking up saves per se, but it could be his job soon enough. So far, he's got 3 scoreless frames and 4 strikeouts. He's got good stuff and just looks like he might be next in line. Look, there's other pitchers who could be in the mix. Tyler Duffy would seem to be the favorite. He got rocked his first time out. Look, Duran is a sleeper here. If you're speculating on saves or you just want a reliever who maybe can get you some strikeouts with a chance for the occasional save, I think Duran is a guy that you should start adding. And then finally, I have to give a shout out to the boy that I've been on all preseason long, kind of my super sleeper, a guy that is one of my guys for the draft day. I have way too much of him, or do I? It's Josiah Gray. Didn't look great in his first start, but then just today, as I record this, he went 5 scoreless against the world champion Atlanta Braves. Not too bad. All right, so the thing is, Gray, he'll probably be inconsistent. That's kind of what he's shown so far in his very brief career, but this is a pitcher who's got a great mix of stuff. He definitely can find a way to make batters swing and miss. And his next start, if you're a streamer, comes against the Diamondbacks. That's definitely a plus matchup, so you might want to try him out and see what happens. So, yeah, obviously, young pitchers, there's always risk, but Gray is a guy that I've been on, like I said, all offseason long. So I'm keeping the shares I already have of him. And you know what? If you're in deep enough league, pick him up, try him out this week, and then we'll see if it just keeps going better from there. All right, so that's the waiver wire for week 1, starting pitchers and relievers. Also have this for hitters. Going to be here all season long to try to help you win at fantasy baseball. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, do it now.